Have you ever noticed when you're looking at a plant tag, it'll say something to the effect of, does best in well-drained soil, or can stand compacted soils? How do you know what your soil is? I knew what mine was in sandy. It was actually quite sandy. If you look at these pictures here, you can see that it was pretty much 60% or more in sand and quite a bit less in clay, with a little bit of silt in between. However, here in Lehigh, I'm pretty sure we have at least 60% clay and not a lot of sand or silt. So how will I figure that out? Well, let me show you a really easy test. I'm going to be doing 3 tests here, and I will need 3 jars and some dish soap, the soil of course, and some water. So I will be doing a test back by the fence, one more close back right here where we're going to be putting the grapes, and then I'll do another one out front. I have taken the aspens out of this area here, and you can see it's quite dense. I'll be digging in it and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, we've got our digging tool here. I can't find my trowel, but as you can see, that is quite clay. I mean, it is thick, it is sticky. So I'm going to fill my jar halfway with this stuff we hope to be able to grow grapes in. Clear off some of this top stuff here. Quite clay there. Let's see if I can do this without getting my fingers any more dirtier than they already are. There we go. Alright, first jar is full. It's probably a little more rocky or sandy. Let's see. Make sure we don't get any big rock particles there. And it's good to take samples. I recommend at least 3 areas in your or on your property. Generally, if you see different types of soil when you're digging, you'll want to do a test for each type of area. But for the most part, 3 will give you a good idea of what you're dealing with. This one here is about half full. Alright, that suffices. Cover that up again. Out to the front yard now. Be surprised if we get a lot of rocks in this one. There we go, about half full. Alright, on to step 2. Alright, in this part we will be adding the water and the soap. Fill it up to almost all the way. There we go. What the soap does is it is a surfactant, and what that means is it helps the particles not stick together. It's what helps get dirt off your fingers when you're using it on your hands or other dishes or whatnot. So about 2 or 3 drops there. go. Place the bags over it. And make sure that it goes on tightly. I'm using the rings in the bags because we don't have the actual lids. Go. Now, it'll take at least a day. The standard is sand takes a minute, silt takes an hour, and clay takes a day to completely filter out so that we have the horizons laid come up here. It'll be sand, silt, clay, and then just water up on top. And it's really important. You'll want to shake it for at least a minute, so I won't bore you with that. But that's basically the gist of the horizon test there. Jar half full of the soil you're testing, water, soap to help it separate out, and let it sit for a day. And now it has settled out. Alright, the first jar, we can see this one is the front, if you can read upside down. This one is mostly clay with a little bit of sand here. I'd say it's about 50-50, right where my finger is. Here is number 2. This one is the porch. This was the most clay, and you can pretty much see that. It is virtually all clay. There's a little bit of sand down there at the bottom, but that is mostly clay. And then we have the fence line here. Here's the fence one. And you can clearly see that one here. That right there. Right on where it says 4 ounces there. That is the transition point. I don't see any silt in there. That is pretty much all clay here and all sand down here. Alright, we're going to do this in millimeters here. And this one is approximately 63 millimeters. So 33 millimeters of clay. Alright, just did the calculation on that one. 33 divided by 68 is 48.5% clay. So if 48.5% of that is clay, that means we have 51.5% of that is sand. Alright, here is the porch we're at. It is about 75 total millimeters, 40 of which are clay, and 35 is sand. We'll say 55. 15 of that, it appears to be sand. Now, why is this important? If you'll do a search online for soil triangle, I'll put a picture of it up here. You can see the different types of soils. There's sand, silt, and clay. Based on the percentages, we can see whether we have loam or whether it's more sandy, more clay, or more silty. Optimal conditions, according to the triangle here, are medium loam, right there in the middle. According to our measurements, at 48% clay and less than 10% silt, you can see on the triangle here in Lehigh we have sandy clay. Not very optimal at all. I'm going to be mixing a lot of compost in to get my soil nice and rich.